What's going on, people? Sorry, let me pause the music. Hello, welcome to my channel. Quick video today. Keep this nice, short and sweet as usual. Alright, so today we're going to be discussing a few things. The first thing is, let me find a page. Alright, so I want to draw a connection between Edwin Barnes and the little girl, which is all in the introduction. Where's the little girl? Where are you, little girl? I should have prepared. Yeah, so the little girl, okay, it's called the 57th lesson in persistence. Alright, so if you go by the introduction, I've said this in my other video, but basically, just what young Barnes said to Mr. Edison on that occasion was far less important than that which he thought. Edison himself said so. It could not have been the young man's appearance which got him his start in the Edison office, for that was definitely against him. It was what he thought that counted. Now, if you move on to the story, I'm just going to summarize the story of the little girl. The little girl went into Mr. Darby's uncle's office and basically demanded 50 cents for her mother, in which Mr. Darby's uncle said, "No, get out." She said, "Yes, sir," and stayed at the door. Long story short, she didn't budge. She screamed. She said, "My mama wants 50 cents now!" And the response was Mr. Darby's uncle getting pretty shaken up, pretty shaken up and scared, went into his pocket and gave the little girl 50 cents. Now, what is the connection? Because it just seems like Mr. Hill is doing some sort of, puzzle or riddle. Perhaps unintentionally, I don't know, considering he wrote this book for a period of 25 years. I don't think this was by accident. Sorry, let me stand the camera. And then following that story, we see, there's a lot of clues here. What strange power did this child use that made her master over her superior? I had devoted nearly a quarter of a century to the study of this power which enabled a colored child to conquer an intelligent man. What strange power did that child use that so completely whipped my uncle? What strange power did the little child accidentally stumble upon? There's all these little clues here and there. But the key here is the connection between the first story and the second story. The first story of Edwin Barnes and the second story of the little girl. How do they connect? Now, my interpretation is the connection is the imagination. Because children, more than any other type of human being, have the greatest level or they're more in tune with their imagination, more than anything else. For some reason, adults have switched off their imagination. So that's the first thing. Edwin Barnes, from the story, stayed in a little job for a nominal wage. And it says that he I don't know what the exact wording is, but he kept the thought within his mind. he held that thought of him being a partner of Thomas Edison. And then, as luck would have it, a synchronicity appears, and Edison creates a dictating machine, or an Ediphone. Yeah, an Ediphone, in which Barnes steps in and says, "Look, I'm your guy. I'm going to sell the product for you. Leave it down to me." And they became great partners. Yada yada yada. But the key thing I want to bring your attention to is that there's a quote on page 18 of the introduction. It says, "He was constantly intensifying his desire to become the business associate of Edison." Let's get something straight first of all. Throughout probably the entire book, the topic of the imagination is not mentioned. There's a reason for that. The reason is that 99.9% of people, or adults, will completely disregard. Is this something much in? Oh no. They'll completely disregard the concept, the argument that your imagination is the foundation upon which you can succeed at anything in your life. 99.9%, I guarantee you. But if you was to contemplate this, then you would realize that your imagination is truly key. And we're not talking about an imaginative play where you're going to act like you was Will Smith or Kim Kardashian or blah blah blah. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a proven, a solid technique of using your imagination. Now the little girl, it's not said explicitly because we're only seeing the physical actions, like her standing there at the door and her screaming, "My mama needs 50 cents." That's all we see. We're not actually seeing what is going on on the intangible level. Let me see. There's a place where he talks about the intangible aspect of creation. But that's not necessary right now. So yes, persistence is key. Persistence with anything is key if you want to be successful. But what I get from what I've just read is that persistence in your imagination is, I would say, rudimentary in order for you to be successful. And I'll tell you the reason why I know this. I know this because I've studied this for so long. And there are many, many people who are saying the same thing as Mr. Hill. So, in other words, he's not making it up. And in other words, only the people that are willing to really dive deep and do the research and do the work are going to realize what I've realized. I want to bring this to an end. Guys, I need to form a study club of friendly and harmonious people. That's the reason why I've created this channel. If you would like to be super successful, basically, if you want to be rich and if you want to be connected with people on the same page, people who really want to succeed and are tired of the mundane 9 to 5, and people who have brilliant business ideas but just need the secret ingredient, which is the Mastermind Alliance, get in touch. It's for free. There's no catch. You don't pay nothing ever. I'm not interested in money. I'm only interested in my success and ultimately the success of humanity. My contact details are below. I've got an email address. I've got Twitter, Facebook, the website. But it's best you go through the blog because you will find my Twitter. You will find my Facebook on there. Hope you found this video useful. And of course, my intention is to do this on a weekly basis. Specifically, the study club will be once a week because I wish to follow the advice of Mr. Napoleon Hill. Anyway, wherever you're watching from, have a great day. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.